Hello there, my Liberty Mac friends. I am coming to you live from my bedroom today. Yeah, I'm here in my house. I have had lots of free time to hang out and chill with my little fuzzy friends that I have. I've enjoyed being at home and being able to just cuddle these guys and read a good book. These are my little llama friends that I have at home. I've also been so excited with the wonderful weather we've had. I've been able to go outside and get some exercise on my roller skates. They're yellow, and I've got these long laces. I wrap them up around these little doodads right here. Now look at the wheels. Boom! Super fast. The wheels. Toe stop right here that helps me not run into every tree and person in sight. So I've really been enjoying that. But what's been really sad is I can't do my favorite thing, which is see you guys. So I thought it'd be really awesome for me to make this video that we can sit out to you guys and we can just hang out for a minute and stay connected. So a lot of your teachers have been reading you guys stories and coming to you guys from their computers and hanging out with you. But some of you might be able to relate to this problem that I'm having. I don't have that many picture books at home. So it's so awesome that a lot of our teachers and even Mrs. Wright is able to read different books to us. But I just want you guys to know that if you don't have books at home to read, you can still read. You just have to make the story and make your own book. So today I'm gonna do just that. I've made a story that I'm gonna tell you guys, and it's a really funny one. As you could imagine, I'm a funny gal. Now I'm gonna ask one favor before we jump right into this story. My one favor that I'm gonna ask of you guys is there's gonna be a word. Okay, there's going to be a word that's going to pop up right here on our screen, and when you see that word pop up, I want you to say it, okay? So here we go. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes with me for a second, and we're just going to imagine the setting, which is the place that this story will happen. So I need you to imagine we're going to go to a place that's usually warm. Let's see if you can guess where we're going before we get there. It's usually pretty warm, maybe a little breeze flowing through the air. That's the sound of water, I think. I hear water in the background. It's a lot of water, like the biggest pool of water ever. Ooh, and now I see it. It's a beautiful blue ocean. So I see sand. I see the ocean. I feel the warm air on my skin. And I see a pirate ship. Okay. Got that picture in your head? Open your eyes. Or if you want to keep your eyes closed and keep imagining the story, that's fine too. But now that we see where we're starting off, here we go. I'm going to tell you the story. It's called The Gloop Maker. So there once was a sailor, and he had docked their boat, and he had gone off the boat, and he had went out into the world, to the land people world, to gather some supplies. And so he was coming back to his ship, and all of his fellow workers are here on the ship. He's coming back, and he is walking on the dock, which is kind of like a porch. It's like a wooden little thing that's built. It goes from the sand out into the water, and you can walk on it. Docks are made for boats sometimes to stop by, so they put down their anchor there and stop by this dock, and he's getting back, and then oh no, he has fallen off the dock in between the boat and the water. Now, if you were watching from a distance, haha, it might look kind of funny. The dude fell, but oh my land, let me tell you, he was stuck like no other. He was stuck between the boat and the dock, and the waves were getting to get really crazy. Not just whoosh, whoosh, but whoosh, like a huge wave is coming through, and it is about to push this boat and squish the man between the dock and the boat. that would not be any good, and that would be an awful ending of this story. But let me tell you, there was a sweet little old man who came by and saw this man struggling in the water. He threw out a rope and pulled the man out from between the dock and the boat and just saved his life by seconds. So, of course, when the man got out of the water and he saw that this little man had saved his life, he said, "Sir, you saved me. Is there anything I can do to repay you for saving my life?" The little old man gets a little giddy smile, and he looks at the man. He says, "Well, actually, there is something I would dearly like if you could help me out. That I would love to work aboard a ship. Actually, when I saw you struggling in the water, I was just walking over here to look for a job." And the man thinks, "Well, of course I can see what we can do for you. You just saved my life. Anything for you." So the sailor goes on to track down his boss, which is the petty officer. Now, there's lots of bosses on a ship. Lots of different people with lots of different bosses. It's like a big company, okay? So he tracks down his boss, and he tells him, "This man just saved my life over here, and he's interested in working on the boat. Is there anything we can do for him?" And the petty officer just kind of looks at him and says, "Well, I don't know. We've got a pretty large staff. We got a lot of people. What do you do?" And the little man looks at him and says, "I am a gloop maker." Now, I'm going to let you in on a secret. The petty officer had no idea what a gloop maker was. Matter of fact, he'd never heard of it in his whole life. But the petty officer is like a boss, which means he's supposed to know everything. And when he realized he doesn't know what a gloop maker is, he felt really silly. He felt like he was going to look ignorant, which means he didn't know something. He did not want to appear ignorant, especially in front of one of his own employees. So he said, "Well, I don't know. Let me go check with my boss." So he goes to his boss, the chief petty officer, and they tell him the same thing. "Oh, there's this man. He just saved one of our sailors' lives, and he would love a job aboard the ship. Is there anything we can do for him? He's a gloop maker." Chief petty officer, just like the petty officer, did not know what a gloop maker was, and did not want to tell anyone that he didn't know what a gloop maker was. He was afraid if he asked, "What is a gloop maker?" they would think that he's not smart enough or capable for his job. So the chief petty officer said the same thing. "Let me go to my boss, the warrant officer." The warrant officer, same thing, no idea. "What is a gloop maker? Do you know what a gloop maker is?" "I don't know what a gloop maker is." Warrant officer went to his boss, the sub-lieutenant. The sub-lieutenant, no clue. Just sends him right to his boss. But the sub-lieutenant's boss is the captain of the ship. And the captain of the ship is like number one in charge. Very important man. Knows everything about the boat, right? Knows everyone who would work on a boat, knows everything you would need on a boat, knows how to drive the boat, right? He's the captain. Everyone follows his orders. Well, the captain congratulates the little man for saving their sailor's life, and, he did not want to appear ignorant, but he had no idea what a gloop maker was, so what he did was he looked at the little man and said, "Well, welcome aboard as our ship's new gloop maker." He had the supplies manager come along and get all of the supplies that the gloop maker would need. Let me read you this list of what the gloop maker asked for, okay? So he asked for a strong block, like a big block of metal that he can use to build things on. And he asked for it to be put on the after deck, which is an area of the ship. He asked for a small stool, a hammer, a chisel, a portable furnace, kind of like a fire, and a big lump of iron, a few pounds of copper, and a few more pounds of silver. So a lot of different metals and kind of an area to work with these metals and make them into something. But man, everyone's like, what is he going to make? What is this man's job? Who is he? Who is he? Well, he gets onto work with all of his supplies, and he's on his designated area of the ship, working hard. Everyone's always saying, "Man, it's coming along great." While in their head, they're thinking, what is he making? Finally, one day, the captain of the ship walked by and said, "Oh, coming along nicely. But do you have any idea when it will be, ready?" The gloop maker looked at the captain and said, "Of course. Almost there. On July 15th at 14 hours, that's exactly when it'll be ready. And I would like you to go ahead and have the crew assemble on the deck at that hour, if you please, sir." The captain said, "Well, all right, sounds great." So the day came, and the hour came, and all the men assembled, and the gloop maker put down his hammer, put down his chisel, stood up, stepped back real proudly, and instructed for the crew to help him place it onto a crane. A crane is something that can pick up really heavy items. You might see it at a construction site. So they pick up this creation he has made. It's like a big block of different types of metals. There's some springs coming off the side. Just imagine it in your head. A black metal box that weighs a ton. Like a ton. And it's got all these wacky little straight lines of metal and coily lines of metal sticking out of it. What on earth could it be? So they have it pulled up on the crane and they lift it out over the water. And the gloop maker says, "Ready, set, go." And he takes a knife and slices the rope holding up this creation. And as it falls into the Atlantic Ocean, it lands in the deep blue waters and goes gloop. And that, my friends, is the story of the gloop maker. So all along, nobody on this ship knew what a gloop maker was. But instead of asking questions about something they did not understand or about something that confused them, they just kind of pretended they knew what was going on. And it turns out they hired a man who did really absolutely nothing to help their ship, did no work to help the ship going, just made something really silly and was along for the ride. So, next time there's something you don't understand, or maybe something's going on in your life right now and it can be really confusing, just remember, you can always ask adults around you questions. They're here to help you and help you feel safe. If you spend your entire life never asking questions, then one day you might just hire yourself a gloop maker. So, that was a super fun story. I hope you enjoyed it. I really had fun doing this with you. I thought that next, what we could do was do a little drawing activity. You guys know I love art and I love to create with you. So I thought it'd be really fitting if I taught you guys how to make a ship. So give me just a second. I'm gonna get my paper, I'm gonna get my supplies, and we are going to make a ship together. Okay guys, I am now ready to teach you how to draw a ship. I just have some notebook paper. You can use any kind of paper or just any supplies that you can draw on at home. If your family has stuff you can use, I just know right here laying around, I've got paper, I've got some different paper right here that is like a brown paper. I have a cardboard box sitting across from me right here that I could draw my boat on. And I have markers. I've got my smelly markers. I know, some of you are probably very jealous of that. They're super awesome. If you are with me at Mac, sometimes when we're doing an extra special job, I let you use my smelly marker, kind of get a smell of the cool scent, or maybe I'll give you a smelly little smiley face on your hand. Like that, when you're doing a super good job. These are the same markers that I'm using today. So, nothing too fancy. But let's go ahead and get started. So remember, you can use any colors you want. You can draw this in pencil and go back and color it with markers, go back and color it with colored pencils, paint, whatever you have around your house, really. I want to see you guys get creative and do something different from me. That's why I'm doing something really basic. So the first part of this is I'm going to draw the waves of the water, just a wavy line. If you remember, I'm sure your art teachers taught you pretty well. A wavy line just goes up and down, up and down. Nice curvy, wavy line. Okay. The next type of line you need to know how to draw is a diagonal line. We're going to make two diagonal lines coming out of the water to make our boat's base. So one diagonal line going that way, one diagonal line going that way. Now I'm going to use a straight horizontal line. Remember, horizontal goes from side to side to make our boat. One horizontal line. You still with me? Let's keep going. We're going to make the top of our boat by putting a small rectangle or square at one side of your boat. Just like that. Now from here, I'm going to add a little detail, and you can do this differently if you'd like. I'm going to make rectangular windows on my boat like this. But you can do different types of windows. Maybe you want your windows to be like a circle. Maybe you want like an oval window. Look kind of like a porthole. Maybe you want to have a window down here on your boat by the water so they can look at the animals in the water and whatnot while they are sailing around. You tell me. Okay. Next, I'm going to look right at the top corner of my boat, and I'm going to add that little part where the smoke comes out. Now again, I'm going to make mine kind of look how I want. I'm going to have my smoke going back behind my boat like that. I'm going to put little detail lines. Look, I've got curly lines, so it kind of looks like the smoke is going out to the side. And I think on my boat, I want this part to just be colored in all the way, so it stands out. It kind of has a little bit of contrast. That means it sticks out. Okay, and now I'm just going to add my finishing details. So again, you could do this differently. Maybe you want to decorate your boat. Ooh, this would be really fun. If you wanted to take oil pastels or like a type of maybe pastel that you have at home to draw different lines on your boat, and then you could go back and paint over those lines with a watercolor. I bet you've done something similar in your art class. That'll be really fun for you to see what happens when you paint over oil pastels with watercolor. Or maybe you just want to put different lines. I'm going to decorate the top of my boat with these little circles. And then maybe later I'll color them in with the yellow so they look like lights or just a pattern, a design on my boat. Make your boat unique. Maybe you want to write the name of your ship right there. Like I could make mine SS Mrs. Q. I don't know. Something like that. Your own personal finishing touches. I think my last thing that I want to add is a little anchor for my boat so they can stop places and put down their anchor and hang out. So there you go. Here's my boat. Maybe I'll color it in and put a picture at the end for you to see my final result. But I would be really excited to one day see your boats and your different unique creations. This was so fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. I plan to make more videos and see you guys as best I can again in the future. Remember, we miss you guys. We are hoping that you're staying home and staying safe, taking care of yourself, and just doing the best you can right now. Before I leave, I want to point out behind me something that's made me really happy is putting up these different pictures that you guys have made me throughout the years. So keep an eye behind me, and maybe one day you'll see something that you've made for me. I'll even bring it closer so you can see it before we leave. There's a picture that is supposed to be me and one of my friends. One of my favorites. They are rainbow cats. Everyone likes rainbow cats. And then this was a sweet little letter to me from another one of you guys. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Maybe next time I'll have different artwork behind me. I hope you had fun making your ships. We'll see you later. Bye!